Good morning, good morning. We are in the tarot study of the Emperor. And just to go over a quick review of the numbers involved here so we can memorize, plant these numbers in our brain. 78 cards in the tarot, 22 major arcana cards, 56 minor arcana cards. Within the 56 minor arcana cards, you have 4 suits consisting of 14 cards each of the cups, the pentacles, the swords, and the wands. We started out with the Fool, 0, Magician, 1, High Priestess, 2, the Empress, 3, and now the Emperor, which is number 4. Think 4 as far as like balance and kind of like the 4 of Wands card where it has like the 2 on each side. Balance, think balance as far as like you have the 4 elements, and you have the 4 directions, you have the 4 seasons. It's all there's like a what's that little saying, there's a reason for the madness of the and that involves like the seasons. It there's a reason for the seasons, there's a reason for the 4 elements, there's a reason for the 4 directions, and it all like it all comes together and makes sense, kind of like maybe like a recipe where you're throwing in some things and people are like, that's weird, you're gonna put some raisins in with those potatoes, and then you're like, just trust me, it's magic. And then it comes out and they're like, girl, that is so good, how'd you do that? And you're like, I told you, magic, right? So it all kind of comes together and creates this beautiful magic from pulling from these different things that you're like, who knew? Then also like stability and like looking at him and thinking like, look how like he just feels safe, right? He feels like he's think of how heavy those feet are and stuff, right? And think of how heavy that chair is. He's not worried about having to get a quick getaway, right? he's safe. He feels good and safe, and nobody's going to mess with him. He's fine. So stability in that number 4. There's balance and stability in that number 4. But there's also the magic in it because of how it brings things together and into this beautiful magical way. All right, so then you have, this is the Winter Emperor. Let me fix this. There. The Winter Emperor. And then this is from the Season of the Witch Winter Tarot. And then this is from the Tarot of the Divine. This is the new one that we're looking at today, which he looks very like, he looks like his drawers dropped, but the doesn't it look like, if you just glance at it, that is like one of those teenagers where their underwear, everything's sliding down. But he is like feels very like, oh yeah, like I know who I am. I am who I am. I know who I am. I love who I am. I am who I am. And he feels good about it. So he feels confident and secure and stable on his feet. But look at all of that's radiating out from him because of this confidence, because of knowing who he is, right? Love that. Beautiful. Even with his drawers dropping. All right. The book we're going to read from is Tarot, Mastering the Art of Intuitive Reading by Teresa Reed. Tarot, No Questions Asked, I should say. All right, Emperor, card number 4. Associated with Aries. But again, remember we talked about this before. And this is all my interpretation. So this whole learning bit is for you to come up with your own interpretation of like the feel of the Emperor. But anyway, my feel is, because Aries is fire, right? And a lot of times we'll think of Aries as like in that fire as a quick action. But with the Emperor, I feel at least like he's a slow simmer. He's that pot of stew, chili, soup, or whatever on the stovetop that needs, or sauce that needs to simmer, that like a low, slow cook. He's not like he's not like the when you go to those restaurants and they're cooking over the fire and getting it done quick. It's not that. He's that nice slow simmer because he feels fine. He's like, I'll be done in my own time. Whatever, you can wait. All right. The mighty Emperor sits on his stone throne. eyes darting from side to side, alert for signs of trouble. He holds a scepter in his one hand and an orb in the other. As you peek beneath his robe, those drop drawers, as you may notice he's wearing armor. He's ready to lead, invade, or protect his kingdom. Unlike the emperor has nothing soft about him. The emperor is the patriarch of the tarot world, the father figure who heads the household or the kingdom. His power personified and all he's power personified and all about authority. When he shows up in a tarot reading, you know that things are about to get real serious real quick. This card demands a disciplined approach. Stillness won't cut it. Therefore, a possible interpretation is hard work and discipline. This reading could be a signal when you need to take a somber approach to a situation. If you're willing to do the work now, you'll be laying a secure foundation for the future. The Emperor can also indicate authority, as in dealing with authority figures. That could be the boss, dad, or the law. Whether you're playing the role or the role of the ruler, or you're under someone else's rulership, respect is needed. In some readings, this card could indicate a period of security ahead. Things are where they need to be, and you can rest easy. The foundation is as solid as a rock. You can depend on current circumstances to be stable. Other ways of looking at this card: regulation, routine, support, order, organization, control, leadership, strength, law, making rules, boundaries, government, sternness, protector. When the Emperor is reversed, it can bring out a softer side to this card. Instead of being Mr. Stern, he's a bit more chill. Less concerned with ruling things, he's more apt to follow everyone to do their thing. The card can also indicate someone who's losing their grip of power. Instead of everything being under their control, everything is falling apart. This is the crumbling empire. The politician who gets overthrown by angry subjects. Or the CEO who gets ousted in a hostile takeover. The Emperor reverse can symbolize trouble with authority figures. Think James Dean flipping off to his dad and rebel without a cause. This card reversal can also suggest immaturity instead of finding the courage to do the right thing. The person runs from responsibilities. The deadbeat dad is a perfect example of the Emperor reversed. Okay. How to embody the energy of this card. Set a goal for 30 days. 30 days is often the right time to make a habit stick. Let's say your goal is to give up your daily coffee habit. I know. That's not an easy one. Now stick with it for the next 30 days. Channel the disciplined energy of the Emperor. At the end of the 30 days, give yourself a pat on the back for a job well done. A question to ponder. Where do you need more order? And tarot size. She always does, this is the layout of the inside of the book, by the way. The Emperor is such a severe dude. For the tarot size, try to find something soft about him. Study this card carefully. Where might you find tenderness in the Emperor? And maybe there are some readings that may come up that where it's you need to soften your edges or something, or being too stern or too rigid. Rigid comes to mind. But sometimes I feel like in our this journey that we're on, and sometimes we can be so we're coming into our own as far as the spirituality goes, and learning to become these spiritual divine beings, that sometimes we need to be reminded to come down to earth and create order again, and to get things in a line within our mundane worlds, and create structure there to be able to balance out and hold and ground our spiritual world, if that makes sense. So I'm not seeing him in this form of about it needing to find more softness in this month's learning of him. For me, I feel like this is our call to ground our spirituality more, ground our spiritual life into our, and really find balance with that and our mundane lives. So that way we can have that balanced life of both, because we are evenly human and divine. We are divine beings and a human living a human experience. We need to live that human experience. We can't ignore it, right? So we need to find that beautiful balance. We need to find that that middle ground, and we need to take care of our worldly needs too. We need to take care of business. We need to pay our mortgage or our rent. We need to keep the lights on. We need to do these things, and we need to make sure even our homes are taken care of, right? That you change your air filters and all these mundane things, like you clean your toilets and blah. So and so we have to find that balance, and I think this feels like a call to do that and feel I don't know, good and grounded in it, having it become a part of you again, a regulated part of you again, to where it's not it doesn't feel like such a bull chore. It feels like I'm doing this to ground this is part of me. I'm grounding in who I am, and just really feeling, and that's the other thing too. I think the more we find that balance and that security in it all, and we feel more grounded, and then we become feeling more safe in our own skin, right? We don't feel so so finding that emperor energy within us and holding on to that could really help us to feel safe. Our nervous systems, to calm our nervous systems down when everything is taken care of around us, right? Our homes, we feel good. They're not going to fall down around us. We're not going to get kicked out in 30 days. You're not going to, the AC is not going to break because you're not taking care of the air filters, stuff like that. When you take care of the mundane, it helps you to feel more of a safer space to be able to let yourself be free in the spirit and roam in the spiritual world, right? So I feel like it's a call to really ground into that balance and come home to your bodies, come home to yourself, come home to this balanced mundane divine world, not to lose ourselves. And for me particularly, one thing that I want to help with that is procrastination of the things I don't want to do. So I'd be interested to hear what is it that you're working on, that you want to work on, to kind of help you feel more safe in your nervous system. Because whenever we do stuff, keep putting off stuff, and then all of a sudden it keep popping in our head every week going, you still haven't done this, and you're like, shit. And it makes you feel, your nervous system gets up out of whack, and you get anxiety, and you don't feel good in your skin anymore. You don't feel safe like this guy does. This guy, he's got his shit done. I mean, he's got people to do his stuff, but whatever. So anyway, that's that. Yeah. Look at his nose. I just noticed his nose. Doesn't it remind you of when you're a kid and they put that bright white stripe of sunscreen on your nose? All right, that's enough. Much love. See you tomorrow.